that face. So Pearl is the latest horror film brought to us by A24, directed by Ty West, and this is actually the prequel to the film X, which came out back in, I believe, February of this year, which I did not expect this to come out so soon. Pearl is the origin story of the character Pearl that we saw in X, the old lady. This is a story of how she came to be in X. Alrighty guys, so let's get into Pearl.
Excellent!
If you all saw my review of X, which I believe came out back in February, to which I cannot believe that much time has already passed since then, I really dug X a lot, and I actually did not save the post-credit sequence, to which, my surprise, contained a scene or a reveal for a prequel film called Pearl. Knowing how much I dug X, I was really excited to see what they're going to do with Pearl, and even more so knowing that it would be an origin story for that character to which Mia Goth played, to which I had no idea about, and it blows my mind that was actually Mia Goth because she was that good as that character. If you haven't seen X, please check that movie out. And man, let me tell you all right now, Pearl is not only a damn good film, it's also damn unsettling too. All the performances here are very, very good, but in my eyes, there are two standouts here. One of them being, I believe her name is Tandy Wright, who plays Pearl's mother in the film. I don't want to say too much in terms of her role because it has been really explained a lot in the trailers, but her role in the film reminded me a lot of Carrie's mother in Carrie, and once you see the film, I think you might see the resemblance of Carrie's mother in this character. She only wants the best intentions for her daughter, but at the same time, at what cost of keeping her within this household. There are a couple of parts of this film where Tandy Wright has some emotion in this film, and the current that she brings in this just took me off guard. While Tandy Wright was great in the film, this is Mia Goth's show. To me, Mia Goth was the standout of that movie, and she did have that X factor, which they were talking about in X. The best way I can describe her character is like this. Imagine if Dorothy from Wizard of Oz was fucked up and was demented. That is Pearl in a nutshell in this movie. Even though she has done some pretty messed up things, you still have the sense of empathy for her character, and I mean, of course, she has this relatable goal to her, which she wants to get out of this farm, and she wants to be in the big leagues, she wants to be a star, but at the same time, you don't want her to kill your ass. Mia Goth does such a great job of portraying this character. You feel this empathy for, but at the same time, you're also just creeped the hell out. She has a monologue that takes place at a point in the movie, I won't say where it is. My eyes were glued to that screen. Something else I gotta talk about here is Ty West's directing. While Pearl and X are horror films in a way, stylistically, they couldn't be any different. Like, for example, X is more of a slasher film that is in the range of, like, say, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or basically slasher films of the 70s. Pearl is an unsettling character study in which it goes into the mind of a villainous origin story, taking us back to the days of a Technicolor vibe of, let's say, of a Walt Disney film of Wizard of Oz, while going back to the sensibilities of, let's say, of a Psycho or a Carrie. I absolutely love the way how Ty West was able to make both films feel differently. There are certain times during the story where, man, I was on the edge of my seat. That goes back to the unpredictability of Mia Goth's performance, because again, seeing how this character progresses through the story of seeing this character that you do have empathy for, but at the flip of a coin can turn into this crazy person you do not want to be any near around. Pearl is a dark character study with very unsettling moments, and I say there's unsettling moments, I mean, it just made my skin crawl, and once again, it goes back to that great contrast of the feeling of this Wizard of Oz Technicolor vibe mixed with the horror sensibility that Ty West was going for in this movie. Talking about the cinematography here, Pearl is a beautifully shot film. I feel like that Ty West took us back to that time period and brought us a Technicolor film from that time period into the 2020s decade. And it certainly felt like that, not just from how the color palette looked, but how Ty West moves the camera. This is a beautifully shot film where the colors just bounce out so much. The collaboration that Tyler Bates does with his co-composer here was brilliant. The opening sequence of the film opens up with this great childlike music. You're just sitting there in awe and wonder, hearing the music go about, and then the rug is pulled underneath you and you're essentially just going like this. Whoa! Whoa. Okay. It's a great contrast to the beautiful color palette and then showing the deeply unsettling undercurrent underneath this thing. The final shot of this movie. Unsettling? Yeah.
Well, that's just fucking great!
I actually liked Pearl on the same level as X. Now, that being said, guys, do I have a couple of issues with Pearl? Yes, I do. Let's go into the marketing of Pearl. You guys saw this coming. Pearl is marketed as a slasher horror film. Pearl isn't really a straight up horror slasher film. I mean, there are definitely elements of those genres in this movie, but it isn't a straight up horror slasher film. Are there unsettling moments? Yes. Are there frightening moments? Abso-freaking-lutely. If you're going into Pearl expecting a straight up slasher film, you're going to be disappointed in this film. There is a particular part in the film in which Mia Goth has a great, and I mean a great monologue. As great as a monologue as it is, I definitely think it could have been trimmed down just a little bit because at times it feels like it's just going and going and going. Pearl runs at a runtime of just a little over an hour and 40 minutes. I feel like that it just ran a tad bit too long. There's a couple of scenes where maybe a frame or two could have been trimmed out.
And here we go.
So overall, Pearl is a damn good and a very unsettling character study. It's like Ty West made the most demented Walt Disney movie that Walt Disney never made. And not to mention as well that Mia Goth is terrific. Issues aside, I dug Pearl a lot, and actually I dug it on the same level that I dug X. All in all, I'm going to give Pearl a 4.25 out of 5. After seeing this, knowing that they have a third film that Ty West is making called Maxine, bring it on. I cannot wait. So comment down below and let me know, what is the most unsettling character study that you have seen in a film? Let me know below. If you guys want to follow me on social media, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. I'm also on Snapchat, so if you guys want to follow me on all those social media platforms, all the links in the usernames description below. I hope you all enjoyed my review of Pearl. If so, please hit that like button, also subscribe, and don't forget that notification bell for my latest review goes live. If you guys want to see any of my previous 2 reviews, please click right there or right there. And of course, until my next review goes live, I will see you all next time.